Hello! Here you can see the Teachers client of our application. The Teachers client allows the teacher to plan for collaborative learning and monitor the students' progress as they work on their collaborative activities. The Teachers client is accompanied by a mobile application for students that will be introduced in the next video. This is the welcoming page of our app, where existing users can log in and start planning. The lesson plans in this application are called blueprints, the technical drawings a teacher puts on the paper to design learning situations. This is the home page of the app, where the teacher gets a good overview of which blueprints are currently being worked on by the students, which are already completed, and which are waiting for their turn. The teacher gets to create a new blueprint by clicking on the plus button. The blueprint creation consists of 6 planning stages, beginning with framework. All the text that would be typed in by the teacher are colored green. This is where the teacher gets to choose the title for the blueprint, define which grade it is for, set a beginning and ending time, choose the subjects being learned with this blueprint, and add relevant keywords for information. The second stage of planning is goal setting. Here, the teacher gets to define the general aim of the unit and add goals. Goal setting is divided into goals related to content knowledge and goals related to general competencies. The teacher gets to add a new goal by typing it into the text box and gets to add a new one by clicking on the plus button. If the unit develops any of the general competencies, goals related to those can be added by clicking on the competence and typing it into the text box. The third planning stage for project-based learning is defining the driving question. Here, the teacher can help from the table that helps teachers write a challenging and relevant driving question. The fourth step is to decide how the student will be working. The teacher gets to choose whether this will be an individual, pair, or group task, and whether the students will have predetermined roles. If the teacher chooses to have students work in teams and assign them roles, the teacher should then choose which roles from the role list they think the students should have. If the teacher decides to divide students into groups by himself, the students can then be dragged and dropped into their corresponding slots. The planning step then continues with deciding which activities the student will perform. Teachers are provided with a set of activities commonly used in project-based learning, but they are also free to edit or add activities. Each activity has a slot for the teacher to write a description for it, choose the beginning and ending time, and decide whether the students will be getting feedback from the teacher or not after the activities, by ticking the boxes. The teacher then gets to type in where students will find relevant information and what kind of tools they will be using. The fifth planning step is defining the assessment criteria. The goals set in the second stage will automatically appear into the chart, and the teacher then gets to describe the criteria for each assessment level. The teacher also gets to choose whether the achievement of these goals will be assessed by the students themselves, by their peers, or by the teacher. The last stage of planning is a short checklist for the teacher to review whether their plan complies with the criteria for an effective and interesting blueprint. When the blueprint is completed, the teacher clicks Done, and the blueprint is saved. The teacher is then taken back to the home page, where they can drag and drop the blueprints from the Impending Blueprints menu to the Active Blueprint one. At this point, the information from the blueprint is then sent into the Students app. Once a blueprint is active, the teacher can monitor the students' progress in real time from the dashboard. The students will be sending feedback and reports on their progress to the teacher in real time from their app, and this is what is displayed in this dashboard. The teacher can easily see which students are together in a group, how each student assesses themselves for every specific activity, when and what kind of feedback they send and when they ask help from each other. So, this dashboard shows that 4 students assessed themselves as green for the first activity, and 3 of them marked themselves blue. Only 1 student was struggling with the first activity. The teacher can also send notifications to students. Now you can give your feedback to our teachers client inside the questionnaire.